Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to Bob's Magic Emporium. Next video on 365-day magic challenge. Teacher trick today. A lot of kids are going back to school this weekend and in the coming weeks, so I thought I would do a teacher trick that you can do for your class, which is kind of really cool. So I'm going to give these cards a little shuffle. There's one, and I'll give them one more shuffle just like that. There is two. Perfect. So if there was a actually, I'm going to shuffle up these cards one more time, and if there was a spectator here, they would tell me stop whatever they want as I go down the cards like this. Stop. Okay, that's going to be your card. Look at it, memorize it, know it, the bottom one there. All right, and I'm going to look at it too for the purpose of demonstration, 6 of clubs. We're going to place the cards back, and I'm going to give the deck a few cuts like this. That way we lose the card, and I have no idea where your card is now. I'm going to stand over here on the other side of this chalkboard, and I'm going to spring cards at the chalkboard, and we're going to see if something cool can happen. So I'm going to show this to you here. Let me move that over just a smidge. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to stand over here. I'm going to spring cards at this chalkboard, and hopefully something cool is going to happen. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait just a moment here. I think the magic happened. Take a look. There is one card stuck to this chalkboard, and it is the 6 of clubs, and that is the trick. Okay, so let me tell you how the trick is done. So before I do that, though, I have to actually get all my cards picked back up here, because it just looked like it looks like a playing card factory threw up in here. So let me get all my cards picked up here. So give me a moment, but this is I'm going to talk about the trick as I'm picking up cards here. This is actually a really great trick, like I said, to perform for a class, because you can use a chalkboard, and the card is actually on the chalkboard. Sorry as I be rude here for just a few moments. I have to pick up all these cards on the floor. So that's a great trick, though, because you can use a chalkboard, and you can do this right in the middle. Well, I wouldn't do it in the middle of class, but ask your teacher first before you do it. But it's a great little trick. So let me go into how this trick works. You need a regular deck of cards with every card in the deck, and you need a duplicate card or a matching card. So I'm using the 6 of clubs. You can use any card that you want, though. And you need a chalkboard. So there's my chalkboard. And you also need a piece. Well, you can use a piece of tape, and I'll talk about that in a second. So if you want to use a piece of tape, which is still stuck to this chalkboard, if you want to use a piece of tape, all you have to do is get a little piece of tape, make a little, you could use double-sided tape if you have it. If you have regular-sided tape, make your little circle out of tape, and then stick it to the back of the card. Boom. Just like that. Stick it to the back of the card, and throw it up here against the chalkboard like that. Now, that's why some of the chalkboard was off camera before I started the trick, so you didn't see the card right there. What you can do is, because you don't have the luxury in a classroom to take the chalkboard. By the way, you can if your classroom has a whiteboard, this works the same way on a whiteboard. But if you don't have the luxury of moving your chalkboard out of view, then all you have to do is stand in front of your stand in front of your card like this. Block it with your body. I have no way of getting that so I can block it. But basically, when you do it, you're just gonna stand so your body is blocking that card, kind of like that. Yeah, kind of something like that. So you see some of the chalkboard, but your body will be blocking some of the card. That's one way you can hide the card. Let's say that you don't want to stick the card up there because you're worried about something. Another thing you can do is take your card, and a lot of chalkboards have a border around it, like a wood border or something like that. All you really have to do is stick the end of your card right in the chalkboard like that. Well, that didn't work, but it probably won't work for me now that I'm trying to do it. But you stick it like right up there in the corner, and it can actually just kind of hold up there because it's stuck in the corner of the chalkboard. You can certainly do that too if you didn't want to put tape on the back of the card. Okay, so you're gonna you're gonna find your matching card in your regular deck of cards. So again, we're using the 6 of clubs. You can use any card that you want, and you're going to do force of the card. You're going to make your spectator pick the card you want them to pick. They're going to pick this 6 of clubs no matter how hard they try not to. What you want to do is you can start with the force or the force card right on the bottom. I'm going to teach you the force that I used in the demonstration. Your force card goes on the bottom, and you can do a false cut, a false shuffle cut kind of thing. And if you watched my birthday video, this is the ex-girlfriend shuffle. It looks great and does nothing. This is actually, you can use that as a very deceptive force. I'm sorry, the very deceptive false cut shuffle thing. All you do is cut the cards in half, give the top section a couple taps on the bottom section, and immediately after you tap it, throw the top section back on. Now, I don't know how your brain does this, but somehow the brain registers that you have just done something, and like you have done something with the cards. Like you have just cut them or shuffled them. The brain thinks that you have. I don't know how that works, but it does think that. You can also do a riffle shuffle if you wanted. How to do that is all you do is you thumb, you take the bottom half of the deck. So when you cut it, the bottom half of the deck, you thumb off the first few cards. I usually do about 2 or 3. And then I take the other side, thumb off a few of those, and then just keep thumbing. But you always want to make sure that when you cut the cards, you thumb off the bottom card first. Make sure you thumb off the bottom card. That way, that'll keep that 6 of clubs on the bottom. Now, there's many false cut shuffles and forces you can use in this trick. This is the one that this is one that's simple and easy that you can use. All you do is you take a few cards from the. Basically, you cut the cards in your hands. So you take a few cards, cut them like that, pull the bottom half out. So you do something like that. Cut a few cards, pull the bottom out, and then you just start with your thumb. Place your thumb on top, and all you're doing is really just thumbing off cards from the top. And you're doing that but you want to keep the bottom half of the deck really close to this pile. That way, it looks like you're really mixing up the cards. And when done up to speed, it really looks convincing that these cards are getting mixed up. But in all honesty, all you're really doing is you're leaving that bottom card alone. See, there's the 6. I'll do it again. There's the 6. You're leaving that bottom card alone, and you're just disturbing the top pack. So anytime your spectator wants, they tell you stop. So we'll say they stop right there. You flash the bottom card. Now, I looked at it in the purpose of the demo. You're not going to. So when they tell you stop, they're going to say stop. You show them the card. Don't look at it. You show it to them. And when they say they've got it, place the pack back together. And then all you do is just cut the cards. Cut the cards, complete the cut. Do that a couple times. That way the cards have now been mixed up and shuffled out. You don't know where the card is in the pack. Also, what I like to do is when I'm doing the trick, I didn't do it in the demo because there's no actual spectator here, but when I do it, I like to just casually glance, move my arms like this and glance at that bottom card. If their card's on bottom, I like to give it one more cut, just in case. That way they can't say, when you're doing the trick, hey, wait, but my card was on bottom. Maybe you knew it. So I just casually glance by just moving my hands apart, and as I do, I just take this deck and turn it over like that. I just casually glance, that way I can see if the bottom card is theirs. If it is, just give it a cut. Alright, now, there's 2 ways to get the card on the chalkboard. You can either throw the cards, actually I guess there's 3 ways. You can take the pack and you can just throw them right at the chalkboard, and you can, you want to throw them right at the card. You can do that. You can just whomp right at the card. If you don't want to do that, you can fan the cards in your hand, kind of a rough fan, and throw the fan at the deck of cards. Throw the fan at the card on the chalkboard. Or you can spring the cards, which is what I did in the demo, where you're going like this. You can spring the cards if you want to do it that way. So I'm going to do every revelation of the cards. So first I'm going to do the throwing. All you do is you take the deck and you just give it a nice toss right there at the chalkboard. Now again, don't have your chalkboard sitting on a table like this and do the throw, because you don't want to knock your chalkboard off. Let's see. You can do the fan and throw if you want. And the fan and throw is the same way as you're throwing the cards, except you just spread them out in your hands like this, and you whoop, throw it right at the deck. To fan the cards, all you do is you have your thumb goes on top, your middle ring and pinky go on the bottom, and your first finger is kind of beveling the cards in the back there, kind of bending them a little bit. And all you do is you just take your thumb and you thumb off the cards like this. And that will make them kind of just fling forward but fall. Now, if you just thumb off the cards, they're going to just fall forward. The way to make them shoot, whoops, I just dropped the cards. The way to make them spring at the chalkboard is at the same time you're thumbing, you want to push this forward. So it just goes like this, like that. It looks like you thumbed cards. Now, I don't want to pick up all these cards, so I'm going to go over here and do my spring at the chalkboard, and that's going to be the way I'll reveal the cards. Now, one other tip to this, I'm going to pull the camera back here. Give me just one moment because I want to do a little demo of this here. Okay, that should be good. So what you want to do is you're standing in front of your chalkboard. This is very, very important. So you're standing in front of your... Okay, that's terrible too. Hang on, give me a moment here. All right, one moment here as I try to get this... there we go. That should be good. I don't want my... Yeah, perfect. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to stand in front of your chalkboard like this. Pull that back up. Okay, so you're standing in front of your chalkboard like this. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier when you're blocking the card. This is you're kind of blocking the card from the view of the audience. So we'll say where the camera is your audience or your class. You're blocking that card. Now don't turn around until you're ready to reveal that card. So again, when you throw the cards at the chalkboard, if you're going to do the throwing method, all you do is you start to throw, turn the cards around and throw. That way, as soon as the cards hit the chalkboard, they notice that card. Don't go like this, because then there's a card stuck there and they'll see that. So you want to make sure that you time it. All your timing is just right on the trick. So you're gonna fan, turn your body. That way, when you turn, you're also blocking that card. Notice how that card is being, well, somewhat blocked. You're blocking it. Throw, and then they'll see the card. And when the cards hit the chalkboard, it'll make kind of a noise, and that will, like, they'll startle and then see the card right there. Now, here's the spring. For the spring to reveal the card, you're going to get in your spring position, turn, and just start going. Don't wait to start springing. As soon as you turn, start springing the cards. So I'll show you what that looks like. Again, I'm not going to pick up these cards after I spring them. So this will be the revelation I use. So here we go. You're going to start, turn, and spring. And you'll drop your chalkboard all over the floor. But, yeah. Oh, and I just broke my chalkboard, too. Oh, great. Well, anyways, that is the revelation when you do the spring. I have to fix my chalkboard now. This is fun. Hopefully I just didn't break it. Oh, I did break it. Oh, great. Well, anyways, that's going to end the video where I break my chalkboard. Oh, great. My chalkboard is now totally busted. But that's okay. So you're going to spring the cards. And then you're going to, just spring those cards and then turn around and spring. All right, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the teacher trick. If you have any more questions about it, because I know I kind of screwed up the ending there, message me and let me know, and I'll give you the answer. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.